Howdy. Hello. This is Rick. How you doing again? Well, I've had hardly anything to do today. I have lots to do, but I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do nothing. But, this is not doing nothing. I go and I learn some more things, and I hear some more things, and I want to clarify a few more things. One of the conversations that I have most is about the number 7, and we talk about the 7s being the chakra. Everything about the 7 is about the chakra. It's about the steps that it takes to get somewhere. The first thing you have to do, and usually one generally is like the lower chakra, and the root, and then you have the sacrum, and then you have the stomach, and then you have the the heart, and then you have the throat, and then you have the head, and then of course the crown. And so being that there are these 7 churches on the ground, some are destroyed. I can't really tell you what they are in their present states right now, but these particular churches, symbolically were represented here on Earth, but they actually, they made that up. This was these churches didn't exist during supposedly the time in the making of the Bible and Jesus and all of that. But I will tell you that of all the 7s in the book of Revelation, and I'm going to blow that story right out of the water, okay? But first, we're going to take on the 7s of this first, okay? Because it tells us right in there that 7's the 7 candlesticks, the 7 chakras, the 7 the 7 what are they? The 7 stars, the 7 angels, the 7 churches, the 7 lampstands. They all mean the same thing. They're all the 7 churches, and I'll tell you that those 7 churches are the 7 seals. All right, the seal. They come in twice as being having to be unsealed. That they're some of the they still have they're not open yet. We don't know what they are. All right. This is all about how the body goes about switching from an acidic person to a more positive thing, but not really acidic. I'm just saying that how we change from how can we be reborn using the chakra system. All right, which is a natural energy that runs up and down the spine. It comes in and out. It's known as the serpent. It's where we get our knowledge from in Adam and Eve's story. This is the one that tells the truth in the story. God tells them that they'll die if they do this, and he says, you're not going to die. You'll just be more like him. That's what he doesn't like. And then all of a sudden they were naked, and they had to run around. They were tossed out of the garden because that's what it is. We can't live in this garden. There's, this being in the beautiful side of things. We only there for just a quickie, in and out. The day of Jesus, he comes in quick, real fast, boom, boom. You won't even know it's coming. That's how it goes. But you will know it's coming because you set yourself up for it. Because you're not going to be asleep when this happens. You're not going to be awake when this happens, but you're going to be in meditation when this happens. Okay? But as the churches go, he has to write a letter to all these places. And what he's doing is he's condemning them, but then he's saying, but you held fast, whatever's about to happen to you. And he says, he's talking to Ephesus, which is the first church. These guys, this is phallic worship, the worship of the lower. The steeples on churches, the whole idea of the church is built like the figure of a man, and or the body of a man. And the head up here is where the sacrum is. This is where this is, on us is our pineal gland, the center eye, where God is, and that's in the church. That's where the altar is, and it's really our altar too. Ooh, got him, bastard. But and so as you go on down, you got the nave, the nave, and then you go down a little bit further, and you leave. You walk out the doors. Those are your legs. They don't necessarily mean anything, but that little spear does, all right? And that goes back to ancient Egypt times where, whenever her husband had the penis cut off, she went around saying, you got to every temple in around here. She made like a, like one of those standing orders that every temple is going to have to honor her husband in some way and make it a prominent spot in the churches. All of them. That's just the way it goes. Believe it or not. Okay. So, anyways, Ephesus is about desires. It falls. Hey, we know you did your best. But listen. When I'm gone, the wolves are going to come and drag you motherfuckers away, and there's just nothing you can do about it. But it's going to be for you. It's going to be for the best of you. All right. So so he's opening, and this is what this is. So he goes to Smyrna. Smyrna is the second one. It's a sweet smelling. This is this is your sacrum. Sacrum is a very important place. You hold on to stuff here. If you don't let go, you'll never get this place open. So it says, do not fear what you're about to suffer. Be faithful to the death, and I will give you your crown. Now this is number 2. Okay, number 2 in this book here is talking about actually that's you, the person. Because, as it keeps going, you'll see that the numbers line up just like they do in the numerology with the 1, 2, and 3. All right, so 3, Pergamos. Pergamos becomes your stomach. This is your solar plexus. This is where I say, the third church. This is where Satan hangs out. This is it. This is the place. Pergamos is the middle, and it actually, supposedly in the Bible, it means elevation and exalted. Because what happens is when you go under, this is dropped, and this is where the Son of Man is risen from. This is the Son of Man. So it sets, it goes to hell, it does what it's got to do, and it rises us back up. So this is the Son of Man. This is where we are. This is Pergamos, the middle, and it's been given, this hold fast, all right? Hold fast. This is number 3, all right? This is the divine intervention coming up. It's getting ready, all right? Because it says, it already told them on the number 2, which is the join in the morning 2, it says, hold fast, get through this, and I'll give you the crown of life. Just hold on. So here it is again in Pergamos, hold fast, because, something's going to come through, just don't be afraid. Hold fast. So he does the same situation when he comes to the 4th church, and it says the sacrifice of contrition. Okay, now 4 is that we've learned something. It's the fourfold nature of man. We got a lot of knowledge going on. It's a sweet savor of labor. We know, what you have done, your works, you're getting ready to do something. This is the fourfold nature of man as well. Okay, he's telling them to hold fast and have patience. Next thing you have this number 5. 5 is Sardis. Okay, this is where renewal. This is 5. This is our body. 5, the senses, the brethren. This is the chance that we can have renewal. It's the worship of the Mother Earth, because 5 is the heart. It's the physical placement of this church is up high on a mountain top. So it has only one road to get up to it, and it's a sheer cliff after that. So it's just a wonderful little reference to this idea that this path is one way. All right, and all of these churches on the ground are all connected by one road. All right. And it says, parish high on mountain. It's perched high up on the mountain. It says, in this place, this is what 5 is your body. When you bring the 2 and the 3 together, you're no longer in your body. You're off. This is your garment. So, you're not allowed to have, it says, when you come to worship at this place, this is in the process of our mind and our meditation, that we're not allowed to have any soiled clothes or any garment whatsoever. It's not allowed. All right, and now we come into the 6. Now 6 is usually the completion of works. Okay, and it says it's the one of brotherly love. There is nothing really keeping people. This is the key. This is a place where you have the key to open up the door as we jump over into number 7. So it's a really beautiful thing about there, because you have kept my command to persevere. Okay, and that means that you have honored mother and father. These are the commandments that you have been given before, is to honor thy mother and father more than anything. You keep the commands, you keep these 7 chakras, and then the 7th you keep it holy. So whenever you get to the 7th one, you get to Ladosya, judgment. That's what it is. It's the judging of the people. Whoa, my God. Well, what happens when we cross over onto this side? Why are we crossing over in the first place? To clean something out. So 7 is the cleaning apparatus. This is 7 when we get our crown. This is it. This is, when that opens up, the little scrubby bubbles come out and start cleaning up and fixing up and doing all kinds of stuff. Sounds like hell in here, but it ain't. It's a hell. It's being hell taken out of you. Which is kind of funny, because all of these stories and all the beliefs behind the Kundalini and this energy of the snake, the serpent, it's negative. They absolutely don't want you to have anything to do with this. Yet it runs rampant through our body and the Bible. Alright, and this is going to happen the end of times and the day of the Lord. Okay, they're waiting on this. They're waiting on rapture. They're waiting on second coming. They're waiting on a pre-something another, and la la la, and there's an order of things that are going on. Listen, all you do is once. This is, and if God's mad at anything, if he's saying this, he's really calling us all out, because this is the church being persecuted. What he's saying is his church is persecuted. This is persecuted, not the outside church. This church is the one that fell off. The one at the inside church. And it was persecuted by the church. You understand? By religion. Religion killed all these people off. That's the way it goes, They got it all backwards, And like I said, I'm dyslexic. One hell of a dyslexic motherfucker. And even I can see that they got it backwards, So it's just interesting. Just very, very interesting. Let's see. The messages to the churches. I wrote this down. This is a basis for everything. The messages to the churches, to the 7 churches, are for anyone who has the ears, who has an ear. I hope I have this right. Ready to hear what the Spirit has to say about the churches. This is for anyone who has an ear to hear what the Spirit has to say about the churches. That's what I teach. I teach the spirit of the Word, and I hope you got something out of that. Okay, that's the 7 churches. And I'll tell you, through that beast, they're going to set that beast loose on someone too. That big old monster that comes in. We're going to talk about that too. Listen, all of this is about your mind. Don't allow anything to creep in and say that any of this hocus pocus crap is real. All right, it's just absolutely made up. They want you to follow it. There may be a bunch of people out there, that man behind the curtain over there, look at me. You think I'm going to make a dent in the world? So, I'm safe from all this crap. But listen, I'm talking the God, honest truth. I really am. All right, so enjoy yourself. Have a beautiful day, and I'm gonna hang out for a little bit. Maybe if I get inspired again, you may hear from me again. All right, well, best to you guys.